Hey guys, what's up? I am Dylan Gadino from PunchlineMagazine.com. We are here at Comics Comedy Club, more specifically in the Copper Room. You are watching A Tight Five, which is also a co-production of Rooftop Comedy. You should know I'm very, very happy to have our comedian guest today. You know who he is. His name is Greg Giraldo. Greg?
Thank you, Dylan. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Greg. I appreciate you coming down and doing this bit of web work.
Having me.
Yeah.
I started my thank you too soon. I prematurely started to thank you.
Well, I'm going to take blame for that because sometimes I don't know when to stop talking.
Yeah, it was you were sort of torn between like a comedic sort of club introduction and just a
yeah.
You know.
I'm not at all good or professional at any of this.
It's not necessary to be either.
Yeah. So Greg,
you know Ryan Seacrest.
I definitely know Ryan Seacrest.
Hopefully your interview won't be as hard hitting.
It may be. It may be. I guarantee you my teeth are not as white as his.
No, neither am I. But will I be crying? Will I cry? Do you think?
I think it would be good if you. Yeah, we'll get it.
Probably get worked out. You know what I'm having a problem with? I've been sitting. This sounds like a ridiculous thing. Like we could curse, right?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah! I had my elbow in someone's cunt.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But I've sat at a table like this to the point, literally, like my elbow is. I think I gave myself a tennis elbow just from sitting still for so long. That's how completely useless, out of shape, and incapable of work I've become from those years of being like a slug comic that I can't even sit long enough without. I can't even sit for a few minutes without starting to feel some sort of tendonitis. So let's get this thing over with because I got to get to the hospital.
That's sad.
Well, it's disturbing because I'm making me jittery.
Are you taking anything? Some Advil? Something?
I should probably take something. I was gonna just get on. I was trying to get on some OxyContin or Dilaudid or something.
Probably.
You know, I got a morphine drip. You got a morphine drip for the old chafed elbow.
That would probably help. So, Greg, beyond you having tendonitis from sitting, how are you otherwise? I mean.
Pretty good, Dylan. I mean, I'm no expert interviewer, but that seems like if I were to answer that question fully, we'd be done.
Yeah.
You want to leave yourself some little follow-up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm doing great.
All right, so listen, let's talk. I've if you've read Punchline Magazine, if you've paid attention to it, you know that Greg is probably one of my favorite comedians of all time. I'm not saying that because he's just here kissing his ass. But it's true. The 1 or 2 or 3 line way I kind of describe what you do is you superficially come off as this kind of angry or frustrated or hostile guy on stage, but there's always there's always this line of very of vulnerability, below all of that, and I enjoy that.
Like that too.
Yeah. It's
well, that's very, very, very nice of you to say, and incredibly uncomfortable to sit through. But thank you.
That's okay. I mean, do you feel it's accurate? Am I misjudging who you are?
Your favorite comics of all time? I think that's probably accurate. You seem like you have really good comedy taste, so that makes sense. Certainly.
It's you and Larry. So.
Larry David?
No, Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh.
I should have said Dan.
Yeah, Dan. What was the question? Do I believe you?
I mean, no. The question is, are you kind of that person we see on stage, or how are you? Are you any different off stage? I mean,
I don't always have a mic when I'm not on stage. I don't. Sometimes when I'm not on stage, I wait and let other people talk too.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But generally, no. I mean, nobody is exactly the same as they are on stage, off stage. But generally speaking, I'm not doing any kind of character, and I try to be conversational, and I try to say things. I try to make all my setup premises be things that I think that I'm interested in, so I don't do a lot of like absurdist, crazy jokes. So yeah. I mean, I guess it's a lot like being around me all the time, except in life I have fewer punchlines, and I don't have enough time to edit as much time to edit things out. On stage, you're saying things that for the most part you've thought about for a while. Yeah.
You seem. I mean, I'm not a professional therapist or observer, but you seem you seem refreshed and happy. But that's not always
interesting euphemisms. Refreshed.
No, I mean that's not. You've definitely been through some stuff, but
in this good a mood. You mean?
I mean, I don't, I don't hang out with you. I don't know,
No,
maybe
yeah,
this is how you are all the
I've
time.
been through a lot of things that are draining, that keep one from feeling refreshed. But I feel, lately things have been really good. So, knock on wood.
Knock on wood, right? Because your head is near. You're a dummy.
I'm a dummy. I was sad. So, what do you want to talk about now?
I wanted to talk a little bit about the roasts a little bit. So, I mean, I feel like there's this. Well, I know that there's this running joke on the roast that's like, here's Greg Giraldo. He always does well in the roasts, but nobody knows who he is. Which I never understood that joke, because you've done 8 million things for Comedy Central, and then they bring you up there, and every joke towards you is like, yeah, who the hell is Greg Giraldo? What are you talking about? He's been on 20 different Comedy Central things.
Interesting thing. I don't care that they say that, but it seems kind of. I mean, it just seems like not particularly creative. That's
or accurate, or at all accurate.
I know. So I'm not. But you know what sucks about it? Because Bob Saget said this to me about some of the guys on the dais whose careers weren't going so well, and he said, he kind of said he was worried about doing too many jokes about them because it becomes self-fulfilling. If you keep saying, "Well, this guy's a loser, got no career," then for some reason that starts happening, because in the industry it becomes, even though everybody knows who they are, like, that guy's a loser, he's got no career.
Right.
So in a way, that has happened. Not that I have no career, because I don't actually give a shit about having the kind of career that these people seem to think is necessary. So I'm kind of comfortable in a lot of ways with the way things are going. But it's amazing how people will stop me on the street. Like, I walk into a fucking sandwich shop, and I was in Mankato, Minnesota. And this dude goes, "Holy shit, you're Greg Giraldo! You're Greg Giraldo!" He starts calling his friends and everything. He goes, "How come you're not famous?" I'm fucking, you recognize me in a split second in a fucking tiny little town in Minnesota. Like that, obviously people know who I am. It's just not translating into anything tangible. Man.
Right.
I don't know.
Or they've been programmed to think that you aren't, or that.
They just are like, "Oh, you're everything I get is you're the most underrated comic ever." Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that?
I mean, I've written that. I definitely have. I haven't written that ever.
I swear to God, I actually don't even agree with that. I think I'm actually overrated. Maybe I think I'm overrated in terms of my talent, what I've done. I don't think that but I think that maybe I'm underexposed on some level. But I've literally had people say, "You're on everything. You're all over everything. When are you gonna have? When is something gonna happen for you? Like, I've seen you in so many things. How come you're not more famous?" Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess they mean it as a compliment.
Yeah.
But I mean, but the reality is that, like, I've had people compare me, like, so, when somebody says I'm one of their favorite comics, I realize that I had a stack of fucking eviction notices on my, like, I have definitely gone through stages in my life where I'm like broke, where I can't, I'm always working, I'm always doing stand up, but at a certain point that gets frustrating. Like, shit, why am I not doing more theaters? And is that just a question of marketing or promotion or just laziness or my own personal demons? Who the fuck knows? But in any event, it's all good. Is that what they say, right?
That's what the kids say.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say yo after that.
I say yo, or I used to say in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Then yesterday somebody told me that wasn't cool.
No, I don't think it is either.
No, I don't think so. But I just like anything that rhymes. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I think people who aren't kind of ingrained in the business have a different perception as to what success is, because they, their vision is what they see on television, what they see on movies, stuff like that. So they see, someone like, like Louis C.K. with his HBO show, or, I mean, then that goes away, and then he's got the FX thing. And then they start, like, saying, well, why, what's in a world where, and I mean, there's always room to go up, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's, if I felt like, oh shit, it's all over. I mean, the funny thing is that when I started, I was a guy that had like way too much success too fast. Like I was the asshole. I was the guy that had done comedy for a year and a half, started getting things, and then in 3 years, I had a deal at ABC, and then a little after, in less than 4 years, I had a network sitcom on the air,
right?
And that's unheard of, and so. Then it wasn't deserved, and that's the point. Like, can you believe this fucker? This is one of the biggest problems. These young guys, young and handsome. I mean, I was handsome. So, like, that was, I was one of those castable assholes. And I went from the guy with undeserved success to all of a sudden now I'm like the grizzled veteran that can't get a break. I don't know what the fuck. When that happened, it goes by in like a blink of an eye, So I'm not feeling, in my mind, we're just getting going, like, and by we, I mean the royal we. I actually am a monarch. I don't say it like just for a fact. I mean,
I know that.
Yeah.
is there, like, I mean, how do you go about, by the way, this is one of the questions that you had made fun of me for kind of not asking the last time I talked to you.
You remember questions that I
replay all this shit in my mind, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
This is all I do all day, is look back on.
Tiny thumbs. a little teeny thumb.
You like that? I have very girly hands. I really do. I'm a very sensitive person. You have very soft hands.
Yeah, well, because they're moist and warm.
They are moist and warm. This is what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask you about this. This came pretty late in your career, right?
Was, about 6 years ago. So
Tell me a little bit about it. Why did you decide? What does it mean?
That wasn't mock interviewer mode.
No,
that was a real.
I'm totally serious.
Tell me about it. It doesn't really. It means a lot of things that I just kind of. It represents a lot of things to me that are not interesting to anybody else. But basically, it was a moment where I thought I was going to radically change my life for good. Yeah, and that didn't necessarily play out though. But still worth keeping, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's right there. It's there's a number.
Yeah.
Is there a number there?
Yeah, it was supposed to. This was supposed to look like Old English. I don't know the guy. It looks like the.
It looks like Old English.
It looks like the signs from like the Second Avenue Deli or something. But
525 is what it says.
Yeah.
So what is that?
It just means.
It's on your body. I feel like I'm allowed to ask about it.
No, you're welcome to ask about it. It just doesn't really have any. It's not clear. It's not any. It's. I don't have a good explanation for it. I should have. I've never actually been asked that question in any kind of interview. If I did, I would have a funny answer for it. Normally, I'd just say.
This is what I think. I think you're holding back. There's obviously an explanation for it. You just.
It's the day that I had AIDS. I know there's enough to silence everybody.
On May 25th.
May 25th. It could be May 2nd.
But what year?
It could be May. It could be May of 1925.
Where?
It doesn't mean any one date. It's a series of dates. I'm telling you, it's an uninteresting thing. But if you want to keep talking, we can keep talking about it.
No, if you don't feel comfortable.
Weirdly enough, people used to ask all the time, and nobody's asked in a long time.
About the numbers or about the tattoo in general?
About the numbers and about the tattoo. I don't know if it's just because I'm so famous now.
Mm-hmm.
People just feel intimidated by me, so they're too scared to ask about my body art.
It's probably,
yeah.
That's probably
that might have something to do with it.
You should start dyeing your beard.
You know what? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do a little bit, but then I thought, fuck it, I might as well embrace the aging. Because if I start dyeing that, then what else am I going to do? Start dyeing?
What do you use? What brand you use?
I don't. Whoa! Let me tell you something. At one point, I was using some Just for Men shit. But then I was using, Just for Men. Ka-ching.
Hell yeah.
And then somebody turned me on and just used a little makeup stuff. But then I felt like such a fucking fag just doing this shit. Even the other thing felt stupid. And also then I would only, if you use any of those hair dyes, it fucks up all the shit in your apartment. So I was only doing it on the road. And then I realized sometimes I did, in a hotel room, like hair dye, and like it just looked like I was some fucking lunatic on the lam. And I just didn't need any more.
Like Jason Bourne or.
Yeah, every time there was an Amber Alert, the cops would kick in the cops.
The cops. How about that?
The cops would kick in my door because the maid had alerted them to the lonely freak that's crying. Mm-hmm. I was sleeping till 4 in room 126 with the hair dye and the serrated bone saw.
Greg Giraldo.
Dylan, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here.
I hope I gave you what you needed here. I see you brought these.
I did.
Put in front of
this is all outro material.
Oh, outro.
We're going to do this. Greg Giraldo, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Dylan.
You've been watching A Tight 5. My name is Dylan Gadino from PunchlineMagazine.com.